To those of you who attended the NRA annual meeting this past weekend, I hope that you had a good time while you were over there. You knew that I wasn't going to be there because reasons. However, it did give me some time to do some research. And because of that, I want to make fun of Bud Light today. So to recap, Bud Light hires Dylan Mulvaney for the purpose of doing some influencer work for them, and it blows up in their face. Now, I personally don't have a problem with Dylan whatsoever because this is clearly an act, at least in my mind, for the purposes of making fun of the status of the American society at this point in time. I mean, let me break it down. Decides to go drag for an entire year and in the process garner a whole bunch of attention and suck the life out of all these brands that want a piece of the woke pie and makes millions of dollars in the process. I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. If you think that that's a stretch, oh no, man, Dylan's been doing this for an entire year. There's no way that that could not be. Getting yourself made fun of on the internet for a year and make millions of dollars. I'll sign up for that right now. In fact, I've been getting myself made fun of on the internet for over a decade now, and I sure as heck haven't made millions of dollars. So you best believe that I'm going to sign up for that. To that point, here it is. If this video gets 20,000 likes by the time Bud Light's May earnings report comes out, then I'll do an entire video in woman face. Today's video is brought to you by me because, yeah, right, ain't no corporate sponsor signing on to this message right here. But brought to you by me, that means that you can go over and check out our affiliates page if you want to help out the channel. There's a whole bunch of discount codes and things over there that generate leads back to the channel, and I get a commission off of those sales. So if you're going to buy any of that stuff, if you use my stuff, you help me out. Gosh, I hate sales. It feels so dirty. Anyway, whether you agree with me or not, I have since had the opportunity to visit many establishments around my area, and I'm in a relatively, what we'll call, isolated area, and I wanted to see sort of how far this reached. And the reports that I have gotten are between 70 and 95% reduction in Bud Light sales in the last 2 weeks. There's been a media blackout for approximately 2 weeks from Bud Light, where they knew that if they posted anything that they were just going to get horrifically ratioed. Because it didn't matter what it was they were going to post, they were going to get nailed by it. You've seen all the videos from all the other influencers out there. Right now, we can only go off anecdotal evidence and can only go on speculation of the stocks because the stocks have been fluctuating not based on any real data. It's all in the vibe period right now. So any of the stock fluctuations that you've seen are basically just how people are feeling about it. You won't see the real devaluation or normalization of the stock prices until after those sales reports come out. So that's really in your guys' court at this point in time.
Bud Light had been kind of a brand of bratty, kind of out of touch humor.
So why is this so polarizing anyway? I don't, again, think that it's individually Dylan. I don't think that people dislike Dylan so much that they're hopping on Bud Light. I think it's actually Bud Light is showing that they dislike their clientele, or I suppose former clientele at this point in time, so much that they are willing to grab onto anything that goes along with the woke ideology, so to speak, to the point where they called their, again, former clientele fratty. Post-production insert. There are very few things that you can call a coal miner or a diesel mechanic that are more inflammatory than fratty. Frat boys do not drink Bud Light. They drink Natty and Keystone. Okay, never when I was in school did we ever drink Bud Light. It was far too expensive for us. Okay, so just throwing that out there. That's not a thing. Bud Light drinkers were, past tense. Did I get that right for the camera? It's backwards. Were, and we'll use whichever one works. However, this move, catalyzed by Dylan, was an attack on both. But wait, there's more, because just before the weekend kicked off, drunk ChatGPT released this statement on behalf of Anheuser-Busch, and that's the only explanation I can come up with it, because this word salad that we have here said literally nothing, and I'll go ahead and break it down for you really quick. Bullcrap to say we've been here for a while. We have a whole bunch of employees, and because of this incident of gross incompetence, we're probably going to have to take this out on them and fire some of them. We absolutely did intend to be part of a discussion that divides people. I'm going to try to appeal to you because I was in the military. Turns out I was actually a Fed. I worked at the CIA, which means that you actually have no reason to like me whatsoever. I absolutely do not give a shit about this country, company, or any of our brands or partners whatsoever. I'm simply here to keep my job and make some money. I really don't care what you think. I'm going to continue to make bad decisions as long as you guys don't hold my feet to the fire. I'm okay with going woke to get broke. This situation does not impact me whatsoever. They're just making me do this to save face with our investors. So here's my message to Bud Light or any other brand for that matter that thinks they want to go down the woke route. America does not care who you hire to do your marketing for you. We don't care what they look like or what it is that they do in the privacy of their own home. We only care that they add value. However, increasingly these days, it seems as though these people aren't value added. They are simply there because they got a high score on the woke diversity chart. It's superficial at best, and it's a huge turnoff. So Bud Light, here's my offer to you. I can turn your brand around because I'm as pro-American, middle America as you can get, and you need me for your image. Fire your entire marketing team. Pay me half of what you were paying them. And I'll do the job remotely from my office here in Ohio, and we'll get this baby turned right back around. Now, I don't have a dog in this fight because I don't drink Bud Light. I don't drink light beer at all. If I'm going to drink a beer, I need that thing to be like you took a loaf of rye bread and put it in a blender and fermented that mash that came out of it, all right? If I'm going to drink a beer, that's what it's going to look like. I'm a stout guy. I mean, not just... Jokes write themselves. But seriously, I want to know what you guys think. Sound off in the comment section down below. I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts on this because, quite frankly, I think that this is just a disrespect to the customer base that seems to be becoming more and more prevalent these days. And I think that it's really good that those of you who were users of the brand are no longer using that brand because they have become adverse to your ideals. And look, here's the thing. I think that brands should just do what they do. Okay? I think that Bud Light should just stick to making beer and stop sticking their finger in other political issues. Plain and simple.